This channel is sponsored by the Army Painter.
This detachment asks you a simple question. Is the Warhammer 40,000 3rd edition box art etched permanently into your brain? Does the thought of a heroic battle pile of Black Templars rallying around their standards and fighting off all comers activate neurons that could potentially have been used for curing cancer or things of that nature? Well, good news. The Vindication Task Force is a detachment for waving your fancy flags and refusing to stop, no matter how loud the opponent hollers. For detachment focuses, codex reviews, and hobby tutorials, subscribe to us here on YouTube. To read more, head to goonhammer.com. Link in the description. Detachment Rule: Purge and Sanctify. If an ancient unit is within range of an objective marker, subtract 1 from wound rolls against it if the strength of the attack is above the toughness of the unit. Crusader Squad units can make righteous zeal moves towards the closest objective marker instead of the nearest enemy unit. The plan here is pretty straightforward. Flood objectives in power armored bodies, then, like me at $5 Pint Night, refuse to leave until the game's over. This creates a seriously durable army that excels at outlasting your opponent, making an all-game long last stand wherever you choose to plop down your boys and their banners. While you're obviously encouraged to take big honkin' squads of Crusaders with Ancients in them, those banner bearers can make any infantry squad more durable, and solo Ancients are great cheap little scoring pieces. The enhancements largely stick to those Ancients, big surprise there, and they give you more flexibility and durability. Imperialis of the Eternal Crusade subtracts 2 from enemy charge rolls into the bearer's unit. While Templars want to be in melee, this lets you control when and where that happens a little better, while also playing keep away with the objectives you're standing on. Warden of Honor lets your Crusade Ancients fight on death ability trigger on a 3-up instead of a 4-up. It's certainly situational, but it can be a rude surprise when someone's chopping your dudes up. Orb of the Emperor's Aegis gives the bearer's unit deep strike. As the Emperor's champion can take enhancements now, you're gonna want to slam this on that living cruise missile, giving him a 7-inch charge out of deep strike into character units. Take him with an agile little 5-man assault intercessor squad, or control the board with a deep striking 20-man crusader squad for maximum pressure. Consecrating Aura gives the bearer's unit a 5-up invulnerable save. Pop this on a big Crusader unit for maximum durability. These stratagems also largely revolve around Ancients, boosting durability and giving this detachment some much needed killing power. Refusal to Yield lets a destroyed Ancient model stand back up at the end of the phase with full wounds, though each Ancient can only use it once per battle. This creates a strong incentive to bring along a solo Terminator Ancient as an annoying little scoring piece. Litanies of Purgation is a flat +1 AP against enemy units on an objective marker in the fight phase. The only thing better than 20 dudes with chainswords is 20 dudes with chainswords hitting at AP -2. Spore of the Unholy lets a unit ignore modifiers in either the shoot or fight phase, and ignore cover with their ranged weapons. It's situational for sure, but useful for guaranteeing your Executioner or Lancer doesn't get stopped by a pesky 6-up save from a target in cover. Reclaim Our Honor gives your whole army +1 to hit against a unit that destroyed one of your Ancients for the rest of the game, provided you didn't use Refusal to Yield on them. If a big centerpiece unit like a Knight or a Greater Demon was the culprit, this is a good way to plot some revenge. Recitation of the Revered is a -1 to hit debuff, making your Ancient unit harder to hit in the shooting phase. This combines with the Detachment Rule and Consecrating Aura to really stack your defenses up, making your control of the board even more secure. Perfervid Intervention lets one of your units charge at the end of your opponent's charge phase, though they don't get any charge bonus. Where this differs from Heroic Intervention is that this can be anywhere on the board, not just into an enemy unit that charged. Let your dudes surge move up the table in your opponent's shooting phase, then charge them on in your opponent's charge phase. Orb of the Emperor's Aegis and Warden of Honor give you 2 powerful clues on how to start building and running this army. Both want to go on large squads of Crusaders. Rapid ingress the Orb squad to get them right up the board right away, and use Warden of Honor to let that second squad survive the trip across no man's land. From there, the big question is how many Ancients you want to run. We're thinking 2 or 3, where you'll have a Crusade Ancient paired with a large unit of Crusaders and an Execrator for advance and charge, and a cheapo Blade Guard or Terminator Ancient to be an objective jockey, standing back up with the Revival Stratagem. Still, that Blade Guard Ancient might even find a home in a squad of Blade Guard veterans where he nominally belongs, as the enhancements and stratagems can really crank up the killing power and staying power of that unit. Now let's go over the strengths and weaknesses. Exceptional board control and scoring. All those ancients really help you beef up your OC characteristic, giving you an army of guys who are great at standing on objectives. Enhancements. Orb of the Emperor's Aegis and Warden of Honor both add a ton of utility to your big Crusader squads. Versatility and depth. There's a surprising depth of options given how many squads you can cram Ancients into. Now unfortunately, you have limited offensive options here. Ancients are cool, but taking one means you're spending a lot to hold up a unit's OC without making them much better at fighting, and the best way to hold an objective is to kill everything standing on it. Defensive buffs. There's no access to feel no pain on big units, so some natural counters exist where armies can spam damage 2 firepower. Point costs. Big Crusader squads with attached characters cost a lot of points. This detachment feels like a strong choice if you build well for it. Crusaders, Ancients, and the combination thereof makes for a thematic force and a great way to build your own battle pile, and one that can outlast the opponent and score well on primary objectives. What it lacks in stopping power, it certainly gains in staying power. If you want to read more about this detachment and check out a sample list, head over to goonhammer.com. I'm going to task you with hitting that subscribe button, and I'd personally feel vindicated if you supported us on Patreon. You get Discord access, extra features in Administratum, and bonus podcasts, including one about the new Templar Codex if you haven't heard me gush enough about this book yet. I've been Crusade McAncient, reminding you all to make like Tekadan and raise your flag. Thanks for watching.